Did you know that the relationship between the United States and China has been crumbling for more than 2 decades? That's right. What we're seeing today is not just a trade spat, not just a tech war, but a full-blown Cold War 2.0. Western media will tell you it's all about intellectual property theft, market manipulation, human rights abuses, or the Chinese Communist Party this or that. They paint China as the villain, a shadowy figure stealing America's secrets, spying on them and exploiting its openness. But what if that's only half the truth? What if the real reason for this hostility is far simpler and far more uncomfortable for Washington to admit? The truth is, America hates competition. For nearly 80 years, the United States has enjoyed a position no empire in history has ever held: global dominance in nearly every sphere: military, technology, economy, and culture. America wasn't just a superpower, it was the superpower. But then came China. In 1980, China's economy was smaller than that of Italy. Today, it's the world's second largest economy and, by some measures, the largest. It's the world's manufacturing hub, the beating heart of global supply chains, and the home of tech giants that rival or surpass America's. China has answers for everything America built. The days when made in China meant cheap knockoffs are long gone. In fields like 5G technology, green energy, AI, and high-speed rail, China is leading, not following. Take, for example, US has Google, China has Baidu, US has Amazon, China has Alibaba, Microsoft, Huawei, Meta, ByteDance, Boeing, Comac, Dell, Lenovo, just to mention a few. This is not just a rivalry over products, it's a fight for the future. And deep down, the United States knows it's losing ground. History warns us that when a rising power threatens an established one, tensions are inevitable. Greek historian Thucydides wrote about this 2,400 years ago, describing how Athens' rise threatened Sparta's dominance and led to war. Political scientist Graham Allison coined this the Thucydides Trap, and today the US and China are walking straight into it. This isn't about morality. The US didn't sanction Huawei's CFO Meng Wanzhou out of altruism. It did so because Huawei was outpacing American telecom firms like AT&T and Verizon. It didn't attempt to ban TikTok just because of security concerns. It's because TikTok was beating American social media at its own game. The moves are textbook Cold War, tariffs and sanctions to slow China's economy, arrests of Chinese executives to send a message, export controls on semiconductors to cripple China's tech ambitions, propaganda campaigns to paint China as the new villain in global politics, as championed by US allies in Europe. The message is clear. America isn't playing fair anymore because it's afraid of losing first place. For decades, the US defined itself as the leader of the free world, a title it wore like a golden crown. It built the World Bank, IMF, NATO, and controlled global trade routes through its navy. Now China is building its own empire, with the Belt and Road Initiative, its own banks, and dominance over the world's rare earth minerals, the essential building blocks of modern technology. The de facto trade partner in Africa, South America, and Asia. And America, it's furious because superpowers don't share the throne, they never have. Some optimists say the US and China should compete fairly. That's naive. Empires don't like rivals, they crush them. If you don't believe me, just ask the Soviet Union. The Cold War wasn't fought because the US wanted a fair competition with Moscow. It was a brutal economic and political chess game, fought through proxy wars, propaganda, and sanctions, until the USSR collapsed under its own weight. However, China is different. It's not collapsing, it's thriving, and it's not showing any sign of slowing down. And that's what terrifies Washington the most. In fact, we are witnessing a clash between two visions of the world. America's liberal, Western-led system that's been dominant for nearly a century, and China's state-driven, tech-powered model that proves prosperity is not tied to Western democracy alone. For ordinary people, here is what you might not know. This is the reason why your phone costs what it does, why TikTok could still be banned if care is not taken, why shipping prices fluctuate, and why global politics feel increasingly unstable and tense. This rivalry will define the 21st century. The question is not whether the US and China will continue to clash, but the question is how far are they willing to go? Because when one empire feels its grip slipping and another is rising fast, history tells us there's only one outcome, which is turbulence, even though nobody wishes for that.